Testing, testing. Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Yesterday we had a UK bank holiday, so there was no stream yesterday. We're back in action today. It's 2 short weeks in a row now. So just to summarize what happened last week, we ended off Friday with a bang here. Some really nice sells on gold last week Friday, and we had those 400 pip runners. It was just crazy. So yeah, NFP numbers came out good last week Friday, of course, and we saw that continuation to the downside on gold. Now, one thing that I've also seen is that the NFP numbers from the last couple months have actually been revised. So, you know, when numbers are revised, it doesn't really hold too much weight. See, the markets don't really react to numbers being revised. But, you know, it could be something that it's not going to have a major impact like when NFP is released. But when the numbers are revised, you know, it may hold some weight, but not like an immediate effect. So it's just something to keep in the back of our minds that, you know, the last couple of months we've had good NFP numbers, but then, you know, now we've seen those numbers being revised. And basically what that means is that initially when the numbers came out, you know, they came out pretty good. And then they go back and say, well, you know, we were actually wrong here. The numbers weren't as good as we thought. Where did I find this? Right, but anyway. What I'm seeing is here on gold, basically, you know, I was looking for sells coming into the week. I was coming into the week with pretty much a bearish bias, wanting to catch the continuation from last week's downside move. But can't lose sight of what's going on the higher time frame, that we are very much bullish. And the fact that we closed bullish yesterday, we've essentially formed a support right here on the daily candle. So, you know, we could easily start moving back up here. Obviously tomorrow we have CPI. Now, I think that CPI will be high. I think we'll just have to see how numbers come out, but I do think that CPI will be high. And we had a point where we're not really seeing the markets react the way they were last year. Things are kind of changing where, you know, when we have a high CPI report last year, that would bring strength to the dollar and gold would sell off. But now we're at a point where the inflation, the high inflation, the fear that's brought on by that, and also with the Fed having to raise rates more, bringing further stress to the economy, you know, that's driving demand into gold. So whether we get high CPI, that could potentially bring demand to gold, or if we get low CPI, that's going to make a weaker dollar. So I feel like either way, you know, on a macro perspective, gold is very much bullish here. And we can't get taken away with the bias of looking for those sells. So I am open to the buys. I actually struggled to do my markups this morning because I had that bias of those sells coming in, and I said, you know what, look, this is what's presented to me here. I need to stay objective and look at what price is telling me and use the information that I've got to my advantage. So this was actually from the weekly breakdowns, pullbacks into these key levels for sells. But I do think if you're breaking and holding above 2028, just looking at this most recent traffic here, you know, we've got clean traffic up to like 2040. So very interesting here on gold. If we do end up breaking below 2020, then I could look at getting back into those sells and looking to get back into that weekly bearish bias. Based on the weekly candle, I mean, yeah, we haven't actually done a stream for the week. So just touching on the weekly candle, we closed bullish last week above the most recent resistance essentially, but we closed with quite a small body compared to the wick, and we've rejected pretty much all-time highs. So it's a very tricky spot to be in here on gold. If we do get the sells, you know, we could have moves back down to 1980, maybe even lower to like 1950 or 1935. But like I said, don't want to get taken away with that idea that we're going to get a deeper, higher time frame pullback. We've already pulled back 500 or more than 500 from the highs to the lows. We've pulled back like 700 pips. So maybe we don't need much more of a pullback. You know, maybe we just get straight back into the buys here. Then touching on GJ, higher time frame GJ bullish, and for the weekly breakdowns, I was also looking for the bars, looking for pullbacks into some key levels for the bars. But just like with gold, I need to stay adaptive and use the information that's presented to me. So right here, we've got this clean traffic to come down. Now, I wouldn't be in love with that because I do want to wait for the buys here. But there's this headline here from the Bank of Japan Governor, Ueda, where he says, if price target is met in stability, in sustainable, stable manner, the Bank of Japan will end YCC and then shrink its balance sheet. YCC, I think that's their bond buying program. I may be mistaken, I'm not too sure. But they've been buying bonds. They've had a very loose monetary policy. They're trying to stimulate the economy. So unlike these other central banks, they've had very low interest rates. And this is just to make it simple, this is just a little bit of a hawkish statement. He's opening the door or hinting at potential changes in monetary policy, which would bring strength to the yen. Rising inflation expectations. So that should bring strength to the yen. So I could definitely see those sells playing out here below 170-200. I really like to wait for London Open here for GJ. But we might even just get a closure below and then just start driving. What I'll do is I'll at least wait for a 30-minute candle close below. The 4-hour closed bearish. So yeah, we're just going to wait here patiently, wait for price to set up, waiting for candle to close above 2028 here in gold for buys. Candles to close below 170.200 for sales here on GJ. Welcome everybody, welcome. Thank you guys for joining this morning. Hope everybody's doing well. Let me know in the chat, how's everybody doing? How was everyone's weekend? What's up, Carl? I'm gonna go make some coffee, guys. So got about 13 minutes here until I possibly look at taking positions. Waiting for the 30-minute candle to close. Absolutely no rush. So go make yourself some coffee. Do what you need to do. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Hold on, Jared. Oh, yeah, it does.
Jeez, that's solid, eh?
The batteries have died, I think, once. When we have had this hectic, like, two, um, two load sheddings through the day. Obviously, like, when we off, let's say, in the morning,
Yeah.
and, okay, the night before, if we were off, the batteries obviously then are being used, and then in the morning, like, when, the kettle's going on and everything, and it's meant to start charging with the sun. Um, yeah, it's gone off once like that. The batteries have died once, but other than that, it's solid, bro. Like, yeah, I mean,
Jeez.
most days we don't even know it's load shedding. I looked out the windows last night, and I'm like, fuck, is it load shedding, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Jeez.
know it's a
Nah,
blessing,
dude.
really.
Yeah. I've got like a UPS, so it doesn't run the kettle or the oven or anything like that, dude. But yo, dude,
Mm,
there's like 12 hours of load shedding with the stage six. So it's like now I have load shedding from like 8 until 12, and then it'll be like from 2 until 6, and then it'll be tonight until it's ridiculous.
yeah, no, it's crazy. It's really hectic.
We need, yeah, we need to get ESCOMs on the stream so they can start making some money.
One of the crazy things is like if you go to another country or a first world country, like electricity is just a given, you know? Like those guys don't
Hmm.
think about not having electricity. For us, load shedding is such a normal thing and accepted because it's like, what can we do about it?
Hmm.
Bro, I hate load shedding. Like, I don't even want to talk about it. I'm just gonna get angry, to be honest. And I don't even really experience it. It's just the fucking corruption behind it is so sickening. Sickening.
Yeah.
Anyway, what do you think about this adapting to gold bars? I came in this morning and I'm like, I don't know, I was struggling to see it from the buying perspective, but I was like, nah, I think bars make complete sense. Jared.
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Wait, let me just leave Zoom and then re-enter. I can't hear you that nicely on Zoom. I'll be back in
Okay.
2 seconds.
Morning, Mr. Kutsia.
Sorry about that. I'm open to the buys because I was actually having a look at it as well this morning. And if you go to your weekly and your monthly time frame, I
Mm,
think there's the secret in these buys. Because if you go to like the monthly, we can see that obviously last month's candle closed above that resistance that we've been struggling at 1977.
yeah.
Then there's obviously that wick to fill. And now, if you go to the weekly, you can see last week we closed above that resistance at about 2009, and now we've got that wick to fill. So I do potentially see gold moving up to like 2050 and then creating rejection and coming back down to the downside. Um, but if if this was a 15-minute setup and I saw the support at 1990 or 1982 breaking above, closing above, and then the wick to fill, I mean 2066 would be my cool. Let's fill this wick, close out partials, and leave the rest to run. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then on the daily, we obviously are breaking yesterday's high. So I think if we could possibly get above yesterday's high at like 2029.5 or maybe even 2030, then you've got that psychological number. Then I think that's going to be pretty decent for the nice round number for buys today. So I'm open to them, but I must admit I felt the same way as you. I'm like, man, these if we get this tap back into 2030, we definitely start rejecting. But I mean, in the meantime, we definitely could take take the trade. You know what I mean? Coming back up
Yeah.
to that zone or coming past that zone of volume.
Yeah, it is a tough one. You know, we could come up into that previous support and show signs of rejection. But based off the weekly, monthly, daily, 4 hour, all your higher time frames are literally bullish right now. We're actually lining up really, really nicely to have a move to the upside. Whether it is only to just come and retest, you know, like 2035 or to push up to 2050, I don't know. Um, but I don't want to get too hooked on the sells right now. Like I say, I just came into the week with that bearish bias, and I think it's you know, it's human nature to get stuck on these things. You kind of like get fixated on an idea, and you need to be willing to adapt. So today I'm very much open to the bars above 2028. 30-minute candle's about to close. GJ also just tinkering around this level that I'm interested for. Sells below. If we close above 2028 and we're not yet just breaking the daily highs, yesterday's highs, I could see myself having a buy stop on yesterday's highs, stop loss below the 30-minute candle. So essentially something like this. Once the next 30-minute candle opens up. Because there's a lot of volume in this current 30-minute. If we are closing above resistance, then once we break yesterday's highs, we should start moving in. Stop loss is looking like 40 pips. So just keep that in mind. There's 1 minute until this candle closes. I'm going to have my finger on the trigger here to place these power stops at 2029.65. So yeah, bar stop at 2029.65. Stop loss below the 30-minute candle at 2025.25. It's going to be about 44 pips. Okay, so we have closed above there. on the 30-minute. Got a nice little bottom wick there, just tapping 2028. That looks perfect.
Yeah, send the signal, man.
Pardon? Yeah, you can.
Cool.
Yeah, guys, I got buy stops here at 2029.65. On the break of yesterday's highs. Just going to go with the safer stop loss below previous 30-minute candle here at 2025.25, about 44 pips. GJ also just closed below that level. Not a fan of the pre-London GJ trades, and I like the look of gold here. I really don't think it would be a horrible idea to use current candle stops in this situation, because the idea is once we break yesterday's highs, I'm expecting to see volume. I would definitely stick with gold over GJ, just personal preference. So we're getting a nice bottom wick on the current 30-minute candle. Let's see how big of a bottom wick we get. And then I could look at using the current candle low as the stop loss. So if you're uncertain of what I mean that this candle right now is coming down to create a bottom wick, right? So let's say that's our bottom wick. Once this candle flips back bullish, starts to drive, once we break yesterday's highs, we'll be in. And then what I could do is I could use that current candle low as my stop loss placement. Because then, you know, we're looking at a smaller stop loss, maybe 20 something pips instead of previous 30-minute lows for 40 pips. Okay, so yeah, going to use current candle stops here. I'm actually going to move my stop loss into 2027, let's call it. I will just give it a couple pips. So yeah, I'm moving my stop loss into 2027 just to give it a little bit more room. Got about a 25 pip stop there. I'm not too sure what you mean, to be honest, Robbie.
I think what he's asking is if the candle closed bullish there.
But it did close bullish.
No, but I mean if it's wait, sorry, I'm also a bit confused. If it doesn't close bullish there, so if it pulls back and then breaks a low. So I just told him that, you know, we trade based off of the reaction. So if something happens that we doesn't like, we just delete the order and left there.
Yeah. Okay, so we've come back to create maybe a even steeper bottom wick here. I'd say the idea is still valid. So we're just going to see how steep of a bottom wick we form here. The idea is once we break yesterday's highs to see volume. So I'm leaving these buy stops in until, you know, we close like a strong bearish candle or until price is telling me otherwise. For now, this candle's still got 20 minutes to close. So unless we, you know, are breaking below maybe previous 30-minute lows, this idea is still valid. Looking at most recent resistance, I normally draw up my resistance based off candle bodies. So, you know, I would be looking at it like this. And, you know, from that perspective, we definitely closed above resistance. But I just looked to the left here as well. Just saw this level. Because you see, there's a lot of wicks here. So from the body resistance to the highs here, that's 20 pips. So I just wanted to adjust that level, make it a little bit more accurate. On the 15, we could even move this up higher But I'm not too concerned about that. Like I say, if we break daily highs, I'm expecting volume. GJ came back and flipped bearish. But really not doing a whole lot right now. New stop loss is 2027. I may have to even adjust it again. But yeah, I've got my stop loss set at 2027 right now. The idea with moving that stop loss, make it a bit smaller, was obviously, if we're using previous 30-minute lows, it's relatively big stop loss. We've still got enough range to move up here. But if we could shave off, 10, 15 pips from the stop loss, I would definitely do that. So we're just going to see how steep of a bottom wick we get here. I think we
What are
just
your
need to see how
thoughts
the
about
15-minute candle closes as well in 2 minutes. But the previous 15 had no bottom wick. So we could just be coming to get that bottom wick to then drive up. Sorry, Jared, what's up?
what are your thoughts about seeing how we get triggered in there and then reassessing the stock just before we move it again to the signal guides?
Obviously, I just want to be aware of the stop loss size beforehand, just in terms of risk. Because I know, for me personally, my lots is very different between a 20 pip stop and a 40 pip stop. So I
Yeah,
think once the candle
sure.
flips, then before getting triggered in, I'll just reassess. Watch the 15 close with no bottom wick. And the next candle rips up. Really not a whole lot of volume right now. GJ, like I say, pre-London trades really don't like it on GJ. The setup is there, but the timing is off. Gold, we do tend to see nice volume pre-London. We can already see that we've seen pretty nice volume on the opening of the previous 4-hour, or the current 4-hour candle. We ripped up like 40 pips on the opening of the 4-hour candle. think if we do break previous 30-minute lows, I will delete here. 15-minute, no bottom wick. Look at that. Let's see what it do.
Let's see what it do, eh?
Let's see what these no bottom wicks are all about. Just the fact that we've closed there with no bottom wick doesn't make me too concerned that we've closed bearish like that on the 15. You know, we do often see candles with no bottom wicks, but the next candle will move in the opposite direction. It's not a major thing. We don't have to think about it too hectically here. Not in the position. Like I say, I think I would delete if we break previous 30-minute lows, then stops are just getting a little bit big. It's gonna be a boring day on stream. We close back in the range like this. It's chalked for the day. I'd have to look at GJ. All I know is if this candle does flip and goes and breaks daily highs after getting such a steep bottom wick, I think we're gonna be flying here. But right now, not looking great. I'll probably end up deleting these bar stops. Gold gonna make a John Wick on the 4-hour, yeah? Oh yeah. No, it definitely could. I was also looking at this 4-hour. And this 4-hour is pretty much the reason I'm not interested in the sales in this area anymore. So for my weekly analysis, you know, I really would have liked sales from this area. You know, maybe as we retest some of the structure, or we have key levels around 2030, 2028. So I would love to look for the sales from this area, but just the way we've closed there on the 4-hour, your daily candle is also bearish. Your weekly candle, sorry, bullish. Your weekly candle is also bullish. I'm not in a rush to take sales of resistance here, because we could come down, create a bottom wick on this 4-hour, you know, all the way into support even, still end up flipping bullish and driving up at London Open. So that's a possibility I see though. I think for safer sells would be if we broke the support. If we're breaking previous 4-hour lows, breaking below that support at 2020, then there's a little bit more confidence to move down. But right now we're actually in a range, so I don't want to get involved in this range, to be honest with you. So we could see something like this, where we get a bearish candle closure and we continue moving down. But I'm not interested. I think that's extremely high risk at this point with some of the other things that I'm seeing here on the higher time frames. So we could easily get one more push into support here. And see something like that. Gold greedy as fuck. I think gold is just tired from last week. It's taking a breather. Catching its breath for CPI tomorrow. That's the other thing. CPI tomorrow. You know, we've had wild swings over the last week. Pretty normal to see some consolidation. Markets just taking a breather, like I say. And waiting for the big game tomorrow, which is CPI. I entered a sell at the rejection. Well done. Let me know how it goes. You don't trade New York? Firstly, I'm not a big fan of New York. But I'm there with the members on the Zoom. Jared takes the New York sessions. I'm there as well though. So yeah guys, we do New York sessions on the Zoom for members. And obviously on Zoom, it's just a little bit more interactive. You know, you can actually speak to us directly. And we often talk about things that members are struggling with. You know, those are, like I say, interactive sessions where we're focusing on what you want to focus on. And obviously taking trades as well, giving breakdowns, etc. So we never broke previous 30-minute lows. Still valid here essentially, but we've got 6 minutes until the hourly candle closes. So let's just monitor what's going on here. GJ hourly candle looks like it's going to close coming into this clean range. It's tough. GJ looks really good. Probably better than gold right now. Rumen, I'm in a situation where I like both trades here, to be honest with you. In fact, I think I like GJ a little bit more right now. I'd obviously wait for the candle to close, and I would like the new hourly to form a nice top wick. I would be a little bit more conservative with entries on the sells here right now, just because I'm not a big fan of taking pre-London trades on GJ. In fact, I would probably just wait for London Open. I think that's what I'll do. I'll wait for London Open. GJ is looking great. If I don't get these cold bars, I know GJ is there for me. Robbie, this strategy is just price action and looking at fundamentals, so of course it'll work. I don't really know what to say, bro. Of course it will work. It will work with any pair. Guys, what I think I'll do is my stop loss, I'm obviously going to have to move it here to a logical level now. So the stop loss was, it was the current candle lows, and we came to create a steeper bottom wick. So I'm going to move my stop loss to where it initially was in the very beginning of this trade idea at 2025.250. If we break below there, I'm going to delete the buy stops.
Robbie's giving us a John Wick this morning.
Robbie, no, nah, don't post a link, Jared. Robbie, just go and look on the YouTube channel. It's literally the last video that was posted.
I was about to say, if you can't go literally press on Connor's name and look at the last video posted, then
You
I
literally
doubt
on
you
the
have
channel
the attention
right now.
span. Doubt you have that attention span to watch a 30-minute video. Okay?
On a real note though, of course the strategy will work on any pair, but it takes time to learn that pair, and it takes time to get consistent. If you don't know what you're doing, no strategy is going to help you. But this, I think, is, I mean, for me, this is what works. Keeping it simple in terms of technical analysis, just looking at price action, simple support and resistance, looking at how candles are forming, and then obviously looking at the fundamentals as well. So fundamentals are going to differ from pair to pair. If you're trading, what is that? Oz 30, Oz 200, Oz 30, Oz 200. If you're trading Oz 200, I mean, it's got a whole different set of fundamentals to gold. So do your own homework when it comes to what's actually driving that pair or that indice. I think, Robbie, like, you also need to just take responsibility for your losses. You are, I don't know what you're actually talking about, to be honest, and I'm not going to go and look, but it sounds like you're blaming the market for your losses. And if you do that, you're always just going to be in a very frustrating place. And you'll probably never come right until you start to take responsibility for your actions. The problem is Oz doesn't make wick down, and top also has a liquidity issue. No, you're not taking responsibility. You're blaming the markets for why you're taking losses. It's like the guys who say, oh, the markets hunted my stop loss. And no, you see, now you're blaming the strategy. Like I say, it's no strategy is going to help you change. You need to work on yourself. Change of strategy is not going to help you. You need to get disciplined. Focus on taking less trades, maybe taking too many trades, maybe over risking. You haven't found an edge. You need to find an edge. Find something that works. And then develop a plan around that and stick to it. I don't think that you found something that works just yet. If Oz is so shit to trade, then don't trade it. I don't really know what to say. Robbie, I really don't know what to say, bro. I think my main message to you is you need to take responsibility. Right now, you're still blaming the market, you're still blaming strategy. It's not that. It's you. It's your psychology. It's your mindset. Something is wrong, and you need to fix it. I don't know what's wrong with you. I'm not saying there's something like wrong, but there's something you need to fix in order to start to see consistency in your trading. I think one thing that is going to make a big difference is cutting down. Cut down on how many pairs you trade, cut down on how many trades you take, cut down on your risk, cut down on how many sessions you trade, your chart time. Limit yourself to 2 hours a day, one session, one pair, low risk, one trade a day. I promise you, that's going to change your life. That's all you need. And if you can't stick to that simple set of rules, one session, one pair, one trade a day. You can't stick to that simple set of rules, then you're just not ever going to make it. And that's the thing with trading. Not everyone's going to make it. But you've been doing it for a long time. You're clearly committed. So make those changes. Take responsibility. If you never quit, then you still have a chance of succeeding. So I'm still in here. I know that this previous hourly candle obviously closed with a very small bullish body, but bullish still. We are respecting the lows. And if we look at the 15 minute, we essentially came down, formed support, and we're moving back up. So now we've also got structure to work with. We've got very nice structure to work with. Keep in mind the buy stop is on yesterday's highs, above yesterday's highs. Once we break there with volume, I'm anticipating a push. So all I need is a safe stop loss, and this looks very safe to me. So I'm pretty happy with this idea still. Yeah, stop loss, I have moved below previous 30-minute lows at 2025.25. Unlearn everything you have learned. I think that's also a big thing. That is definitely a very good point, Wayne. You actually need to kind of forget everything you've learned up until this point. Start fresh. Keep it simple. "14 days will make money and 3 days takes it all." So you need to assess what's going on in those 3 days. Slacking on your discipline, not taking into account market conditions. Maybe you're getting overconfident. You start to over risk. So learn from that. Once you have a good 14 days and you know you're feeling good, maybe just walk away next time. Take 3 days off. I'm going to post a video next week about emotions in trading and impulse control. I think that video will help you a lot as well. That was the webinar for the members this Sunday. So I'm not going to post it just yet to the YouTube, but I'll get it on here shortly. I think that's going to help you guys a lot. Is Aussie a bad word? No. Aussie just means Australian DJ. Could consider it a bad word. So yeah, GJ. Go GJ. One thing with GJ is now that we are breaking below, we could potentially get a retest at London Open, which would be really, really nice. Really nice. So I'm just keeping an eye on GJ, because obviously if I don't get involved in gold, then there's a possibility GJ is on the cards here today. Guys, give me 2 seconds. If we get triggered in, I'll be back in a flash. So I have buy stops here, 2029.65. Stop loss at 2025.25. I'm not in just yet. Still waiting. I'll be back now. just come back and Jared's roasting the Aussie audience here. How many guys are from Australia in the chat? We can't fry, in other words. Oh, God. So chat's telling Robbie that he must come to the stream every day. I think, you know what, Robbie? 7 years. 7 years and you're clearly not having a good time right now. So I think, look, come to the stream. Come to the stream every day. And like we said earlier, unlearn everything you've learned. So forget everything you've learned up until this point. I don't want to act like the way I do it is the only way to do it or the best way to do it. But it works for me. And this is how I learned. I learned from other guys doing live streams, seeing how they were seeing things, seeing how someone who was already consistent was doing things. So come to the stream, see how I'm doing things, and look, I don't want you to just start taking my trades. I don't want anyone in the stream to just come to take my trades. I know there will be those guys, but the idea is for you to come in, learn something, implement it, and become independent. So that's the idea. That's what I want for all of you guys. Sammy, welcome, bro.
Dude, XAU Goblin's comment earlier was, dude, that was the best comment I've ever read. Did you read it?
What did he say?
He said, Robbie, I think it's high time we file a lawsuit with the Aussie 200. Dude, that murdered me.
Oh, shit.
I literally had to mute so I could laugh. Oh, bro.
Shit.
No, XAU Goblin, he won this morning, bro. Dude,
Yeah.
even if we don't get a trade, he's a winner.
Oh, shit. Learn a man to fish. Yes, sir. This is an idea that'll probably play out during London Open. We've got 45 minutes. Still got the trade in for now. Your 15 closed bullish there. So we've basically formed support here on the 15 minutes. So if volume comes in on the next candle and we manage to come up, break these highs, hopefully we get something like that. I don't want to butcher this name, but I'm just gonna say Aries. Um, that's really good to hear, bro. Happy to have you here. I'm happy to hear that you're taking something away. It's always amazing to hear guys are taking something away from the stream and improving in their trading. Very good stuff. With trading NFP, obviously it's extremely volatile. It's normal to feel that way. When you're trading news, you should be lowering risk. It also just help you to stay calm, keep a cool head. You don't need to be trading news, but if you know how to take advantage of it, in time, it's definitely going to be a nice bonus into your trading. But for now, what you can do is just use an extremely low risk so that if you do take a loss on a news day, it's not going to hit you too hard financially or emotionally. Losing money is obviously bad, feels terrible. But I think what's even worse is the emotional and psychological impact of taking losses that you shouldn't have taken, or taking bigger losses than you should have. I think that's super damaging to one's mental state, and that carries through to your next trading day, to your next trade. That's a big problem. So you don't want to be taking massive losses on news, when you don't really know what you're doing just yet. When it comes to news, understanding how the numbers impact price, understanding that it's super volatile, you need to use lower risk. Jeez, I wish that we had the NFP stream actually recorded. I'll show you the NFP trade that is taken. I don't know if it's in our trade review. I didn't get around to doing it, Jared. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, no, I also didn't. I'll look it up today and then we can share tomorrow if you can see that.
So this was the NFP trade that I personally took and that we took with members here. So I waited for the numbers to come out. That's what I always do. And we saw that initial drop. Okay, cool. Wait patiently. Wait for price to set up. And the thing is, we had nice one-sided numbers. So it was very clear direction that it was giving to price. We saw no whipsaws, nothing. That's the kind of price movement and data you want to see in order to be trading news. If you get mixed numbers, if you get whipsaws, it's going to be very difficult to trade. So anyway, we saw price stalled out here for a second. I almost thought about getting in on this bearish candle, but I thought no. I wanted deeper pullbacks about 2028 or even 2030. I think those were the levels I was looking at. So we just came shy of 2028. And then we had this bearish candle close here on the 1 minute. Kind of, I know that this is just consolidating. But when that bearish candle closed, what it was showing to me that the momentum was shifting back bearish. And then I had sell stops on the break of that low. Stop loss there. Giving a very nice stop loss as well. Considering it was news, only about 40 pips. And then TP was at 2012. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. About 7 minutes. 120 pips on NFP. Like I say, I wish I had recorded it. But yeah, the members would have seen it and the signal was sent. I'll actually should have the signal here. Keep an eye out for NFP signals. Will be quick. Sell now at 2024. Stop loss 2028. TP at 2012. Closed half at 90 pips. And then TP smashed at 120 pips. Didn't even get a chance to take a screenshot there. But that was the morning's trade from last week. 415 pips. Absolutely ridiculous. Also with news, sometimes just waiting for the next 30-minute candle to close or waiting for the hourly candle to close is always a good idea to give you clear direction. You don't need to get in on the initial move, but you know, with that NFP data, such clear one-sided numbers like you saw, that's the kind of movement it can give. But you need to know when that kind of movement's going to come in and not just chase it. Oh, DJ. What's up on GJ? Not much. Waiting for London Open here on GJ. We are below the support now. You're looking good to potentially begin driving down. But I think it makes sense to wait for London Open. I mean, it's clear to see now that before London Open here on this pair, you do struggle with the volume. So we had closures below, we've broken lows, you're just not seeing that push come in. Gold. Not doing much here. I'm gonna leave the bar stops in for a little bit. This 30-minute candle looks like it'll close bullish, but I mean, these candles are just printing side by side.
Yeah, no, gold is it's not looking hot this morning.
Yeah, might be dead before CPR tomorrow.
Uh, have you tried poking it with a stick? If it wakes up.
Still close bullish on the 30. There's not much to say about the current price action. The main takeaways are that obviously the buy stop idea is on the break of yesterday's highs. We've got clean traffic to the left above there. And because we were bullish on yesterday's candle, I think this is really not a bad idea. Like I say, discussed earlier on some fundamental reasons why we may continue to push up here. And then really just very happy that we've got a nice safe stop loss below structure. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter where your stop loss is. If it's profitable, then who cares? Lol. For sure. That is very true. And I think that comes down to a person knowing themselves. Because I think that this thing that is brought up now, with regards to having a high win rate, but you've got really terrible risk to reward, you can still be profitable. But it takes a certain type of person to be able to tolerate that kind of strategy. Not everyone can actually, everybody wants a high win rate strategy, but the thing is, when you do have a higher win rate, what you'll find is that when you do take a loss, it's going to be very big, and it's going to probably take out a lot of your wins. And yes, over, let's say, 10 trades is not even a lot, but let's say over 10 trades, you win $9,000, $9,000, okay, let's say over 9 trades. And then your one loss is, let's say, negative $6,000. You're still up. Sure, you're still up. You're profitable. That's what trading is. That's what trading is about. So you cannot knock that strategy. You can't. It works. But, like I say, it takes a certain kind of person to tolerate that. Because let's say you go on a really good streak. You're up $9,000. You're feeling great. You've had a good 2 weeks. A good month. You're up $9,000. And then you take a $6,000 loss. Sure, it's part of the process, but you're gonna feel like shit after that. And that's when traders generally start to make mistakes. Because you are so psychologically hindered after such a big loss, after wiping out so many wins. And what you do after that loss is going to make or break you. Whereas when you have a higher risk to reward approach, you've got a slightly lower win rate, you're taking losses more frequently. You're very accustomed to taking those losses. You understand that those losses are there. When you have a high win rate, sometimes you forget that you can lose. And that's a terrible thing in trading. Because every single trade you put on has the potential of losing. So you need to remember those risks. And like I say, with a higher risk to reward, sure, you may be losing more often, but like I say, you become accustomed to actually losing. You become comfortable with it. And you need to be comfortable with it. You can't run away from it. And then it's easier to follow the process. Because your losses will be smaller and your wins will be bigger. You're not always chasing winning trades, but you're more focused on the process. And that's trading. So it will differ from person to person. If something works for someone, you can't knock them. But understand what works for you. And don't try and always emulate something that someone else is doing. Because this strategy that I use, maybe there's something wrong with it for you. For me, I don't see any flaws in it. Or obviously, look, I can always make improvements. I'm looking to optimize my system on a regular basis. But in terms of my psychology, I've tailored my system to a point where it works for me. If there's something within my system that you don't like, that doesn't work for you, then you need to know and understand that before coming on the stream and taking the trades that I take. There's still something to take away. But like I said early on, when you come to the stream, the idea is to take away lessons and to become independent. Like someone said, I'm trying to teach you to fish. I'm not trying to feed you. I'm not saying I can't feed you. I think I've been feeding you for a while now. But the idea is to teach you to fish. Gold. Yeah, look, I'm gonna delete bar stops here. Just coming close to London Open. We don't have that upside volume. Rather, just see how the hourly candle closes and reassess. GJ still below that support level. Could definitely give opportunities here on GJ.
And I think if that volume was going to come in on gold, it would have come in by now. I think it's a good call to rather delete the buy stops and then reassess it later.
Yeah.
And then somebody asked, are you a full-time trader? Do you do anything else except for this?
Go to the gym. Yeah, full time, but obviously doing the mentorship now as well, which is keeping me very busy. currently trading with no stop loss. What are you talking about? No, I've got no trade. I've got no stop loss because I've got no trade. Trade is deleted here on gold. I don't know if you guys heard that or what. But past stops are deleted. I will never trade with no stop loss. Even if I have a 100 pip stop, I would rather just have it in.
If you trade without a stop loss, you'll be living without a house. So it's the best way of putting it.
Yeah, I removed my bar stop, not my stop loss. The bar stop is the pending order. The stop loss is the stop loss.
Just toxic. There's some people out here with these unregulated brokers that are using 1:3,000 there. So I think you're pretty safe with 30 to 1 there.
I don't even want to say this on stream, but XNS offers unlimited leverage, bro. That is retarded.
Unlimited leverage. I don't know how they get. I think we spoke about this, but I don't know how they get that right. So.
Well, they probably get it right because everyone who uses the unlimited leverage ends up losing money. You know, it's not
Yeah.
like, oh, we can't give these guys unlimited leverage. They're gonna make so much money now. It's just a reason that guys blow accounts so quickly.
Do they still charge commissions there? I forgot to ask that. But if you open up like 100 lot, let's say on a couple grand account, will they still charge you like $700?
Fuck. I wonder.
Good point, eh?
Yo, that's a very good question. Because, I
Yeah,
mean, you could
imagine doing
essentially
that.
put in 100 lots on a $100 account, but
Yeah.
it's gone just from commission.
Jeez.
That's pretty hectic.
No, that's rough. Imagine you play your account because of commission. Just, hey, can you imagine the live chat people dealing with the people that used $100 account, something like that. Yeah. Trade didn't even move and my account was blown. Yeah, because you used 100 lots.
Yeah, that really is just gambling though. There's no
Yeah.
other way to put it or debate. It's just gambling.
Toxics, I really do believe if you did that on $100 account during NFP, even if it dropped 200 pips, I'm a firm believer. Probably yesterday you would have gone and blown their account. I do not think getting lucky like that in the Forex market is sustainable. I think if that's your mindset towards it, that account's gone within the week. I really do believe that.
Hmm. Yeah, that's facts. Luck is. I like that you said that. You know, it's not sustainable. A lucky win here and there, it's not sustainable. The idea is to build the skill, get consistent, have an edge so that over the long run you can be profitable. So you're not relying on luck or one good trade. And I think too many people, even they probably won't admit it, but they are relying on one good trade to make a difference, when that will never be the case.
Oh, it's like that. How do you profit $1 million from trading crypto? You get a $2 million loan from your dad. You blow $1 million, you block your dad, and you pocket the $1 million profits there.
So yeah, I mean, as per the weekly breakdown on gold, like I was discussing, I did want to see rejections in and around this area. So I would have liked, I would have liked those setups to see the sales continue, but I think they would have been better yesterday. The way we closed bullish on the daily just makes it very tough for me. Also coming into London session with the 4-hour being bullish. Like I say, at this point, even if I were looking for the sells, I wouldn't be in a rush to take the sells of this resistance or in this range. I think waiting for a break below 2020 is going to be safest for sells. GJ, if you close back in the range on GJ, then we may even just continue with that higher time frame bullish bias. I still think here, similar idea to gold, just waiting for a break of structure. So a break of resistance here to continue with the bars. I don't want to be buying down here right now. Just a little bit hesitant with such aggressive bars with some of the news we saw with the Bank of Japan. So I want to see how we open up at London Open.
A pretty dead morning across the board, eh?
Yeah, I know. It's looking very slow. And I mean, with CPR tomorrow, I might not even take anything here this morning. So far this week
How
has
do you
just
think
been very slow. New York was
Yeah,
terrible yesterday.
jeez. I'm even thinking about extending my no trading range from 2020 to 2030.
Mm.
Yeah, because that is just ridiculously ugly. Eh?
10 minutes. Let's see how London opens up. If nothing's really setting up, then I'll just call it a day. No reason to really stick around.
Yeah, Con, I think I'm gonna call it there.
Okay, sweet.
Cool, but I'll check you for New York session. Eh?
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I think
Okay.
I'm not interested in what's going on right now.
Yeah, I'm honestly
Probably
this
gonna be a no trade
this
day.
price action is irrelevant to my success. So
Mm.
you're still gonna be
TikTok.
on, or you're gonna also call it?
Thought I'd at least wait for London open. GJ looks like it's seeing some volume.
Cool, but I'll catch you in New York. Eh?
Cool, check you later. Lots of volume coming into GJ now. So London Open could be interesting here. Are you serious? I don't know, bro. I don't like to, you know, laugh or anything when someone loses, but GJ. GJ is a bitch pre-London. Don't play with GJ pre-London. You're gonna get clapped. I don't take pre-London trades because of that. Don't play with the... There's a couple days in a month where you'll get a clean move on GJ pre-London. Other than that, it's dog shit. Wait until London Open, you're gonna get nice volume. The only reason I start stream early is a lot of days gold will set up very nicely on the 4 hour coming into pre-London, and the new 4 hour will get a very nice move. I'm not too sure what it is. I've heard stories that there's institutions that come in, the guys come in early and they set their orders, and that's why you see they set their orders before the day starts, and that's why you see these moves on gold pre-London. But I don't know if that's the case. I don't know what it is. All I know is that on the opening of the new 4 hour, a lot of days when that candle has set up nicely, there'll be a nice move pre-London. But you can't chase it. For instance, today, you know, the 4 hour looked good here to potentially drive up. Daily also looked good. And we just didn't have enough volume to break yesterday's highs. So it never got triggered into the buy stops. And your lower time frames at this point are just not setting up at all. So no trade here on gold this morning. And you'll probably see now that we've waited for London Open, you know, you have a much higher chance of actually catching the move here on GJ, because you got a lot of volume coming in right now. You didn't have a lot of volume earlier on. Just because you closed below a level doesn't mean that you had volume. Just because you have clean traffic to the left doesn't mean you're going to fill that clean traffic. You have to build confluence. One of the things I said earlier on is I like that we're closing below here. I just don't like the timing. Patience paid. Essentially, I think that in and of itself was a win. Steve will do it. Tell me Dr. Dollar doesn't look like Steve will do it. But the way we are rejecting here, and the way the hourly looks like it'll close, I could definitely see gold moving down. But I'm not interested in this range. I'd rather just take it slow. Avoid any aggressive sells within this range. Wait for the breaks below 2020. We could even be creating a steeper bottom wick on the 4 hour to still drive up. You don't know which way volume's going to come in at London Open, because right now we're in a range. Guys, how many streams are you on? Bunch of stream hoppers in here. So we've essentially closed back in the range here on GJ. You had a very nice strong bullish candle closure coming into London Open. I think it makes perfect sense for us to continue on up. Looking at the 30-minute here, I still think it's safer to just wait for the breaks above 170,600. Then you got really clean traffic here to the left. But this resistance right here, I could see once we break here that we could just continue moving up. Still, like I say, I still think it's best to just wait for the breaks above 170,600, yeah. Just because we saw that volume come in bullish and close back in the range, I'm not completely convinced. I mean, this range is just very choppy. So we could be bearish this morning. We could just have grabbed more liquidity coming into London Open. And if you find us closing back bearish below support here again, or back out of the range, that we could then fill this clean traffic. So let's be patient. Not going to rush into anything here. This Bank of Japan thing is in the back of my mind as well. This statement definitely could be taken as more hawkish and bring some strength to the yen, which we are seeing on the yen index. I mean, overnight we formed support and we're holding that support. Even broke yesterday's highs here on the yen index. So if we do see that demand stepping back into the yen from those headlines, GJ, like I say, could come down and fill this traffic here to the left. So that was my idea coming into the morning, but like I say, timing is extremely important. This has happened way too many times. And when something happens a lot of times, you have to eventually learn from it, right? GJ 30-minute does not have a bottom wick. Yeah, I'm not too concerned about that. Not too concerned at all. What did you say? What's the best signal for today? What are you talking about? You can see the best signal now. Wait for the 15-minute close. So the reason I'm not adjusting my support level to this new support that we formed is that was essentially just a fake out. So it looks like a wick. I'm using basically candle bodies to draw up my support and resistance. So looking here on the 15 minutes, our support was at 170.200.220. So if this 15-minute candle can close back below there, then I'm game for the sells. Got 7 minutes. I'll be back now, guys. I have to wait for the 15-minute candle close. Give me 2 minutes. So also, can you hear me? Sorry, the soundbar wasn't popping up there on my streaming software, so I thought something was wrong with the mic. So one thing we also just need to be aware of is that the hourly could just be creating a bottom wick to continue driving up. The reason I do like the sells is, like I say, based off the headlines from the Bank of Japan and the potential to correct this clean traffic to the left. And now that we've waited patiently for London Open, obviously if we are taking sells below 170, 200, then we have much higher probabilities of then filling this clean traffic with volume. But at the same time, if we come up now, flip bullish, break previous candle highs, we could easily drive up. I just think waiting for the safer buys above 170, 600 is going to be a good shout. I don't want to be taking trades in this range. What should my leverage be on a 5k account? Leverage is completely up to you and your risk tolerance, but I mean, you don't need more than 1 is to 100 if you, 100 is to 1 if you are risking, 1 to 2% per trade. And I think on a 5k account, you can do that. You can be risking 2% quite comfortably and make decent profits. I don't think you should be risking any more than 2-3%. Because at that point, you've got decent capital. I think on smaller accounts, I understand if you want to push it a little bit, you want to use slightly higher risk. I think with 5k, you should stick to the right risk parameters, risk 1 or 2% per trade. And you don't need much more than 100 to 1 to do that. GJ is looking really nice here to move up, won't lie. After getting such a nice bottom wick there, breaking previous hourly highs, you could easily see this push up now to fill the rest of this range. But overall, it is a tricky range. Like I say, safest bars for me will be above 170,600. That hourly looks clean. Yeah, GJ is playing games. It's catching everyone today. Just stay patient, guys. Stay patient. It's gonna pay. Trust me. Don't play with GJ. Don't play with GJ. She'll always have the last laugh. I don't actively trade GJ as much as I used to. And you can see in doing that, it's allowed me to be a lot more conservative on this pair. And I think for the year, with that approach, the win rate on GJ has really picked up. Because if you're actively looking for positions, man, you're gonna get clapped a lot on GJ. And you know, like I spoke about earlier, you can't blame the market. Look, I have to take responsibility for the losses that I took on GJ. And I've made those adjustments, I've made those improvements. And you can see today the improvements, how important they have been. If I had taken the sells on the break of that support early on, I would have got clapped. If I took the bars on the break of previous hourly highs when we closed back in the range, I would have got clapped. The fact that you can stay out of these losing trades, that in and of itself is a win. This is capital preservation, not taking every little piss-willy opportunity that comes your way, but rather waiting for really good opportunities. So like I say, based off the hourly closing back in the range, it looks like we could move up. But is it a safe trade? Taking buys in this range? Not really. Do you have enough range moving up here? 17 pips. I can miss out on 17 pips. "30-minute candle is closing in 10 minutes. The way we're sitting right now is looking good for those sells. Definitely looking really good there. Gold had a little bit of a push down here at London Open since we closed bearish on the previous hourly, but you're just in a range. You're in a terrible range here. I discussed this idea on the 4-hour that we could even come back down into 2020 to form this bottom wick for the 4-hour and still drive up. So you want to see us having a clean break below 2020. Maybe even with the way the higher time frames are looking, could be safer to wait for break and retest of this area. GJ is looking really good, I must say. 3 minutes until the 30-minute candle closes. Looks like we'll close bearish here. We need to see if we close below that 170.200 level. Okay, 1 minute to go here. So I'm looking to have sell stops on the break of previous hourly lows. Previous hourly candle was still bullish. So I think safer entries would be once we break those lows. And now that we've got this volume, now that we have got market open, we've avoided all of this nonsense. We have a much higher probability once we break these lows of filling this clean traffic that everybody is so obsessed with today. So I think that is looking really good. Hourly doesn't look amazing, but just look at the price action on the 15-minute here. I think that looks really nice. We've got a nice strong engulfing bearish candle. Keep in mind your 4 hour is also bearish. $30-minute actually still closed above that level, but we have closed bearish nevertheless. Nice strong bearish candle. Like I say, got the safer entry ideas on the break of previous hourly lows, and I would have my stop loss above the highs here for about 30, call it 36 pips, 36, 37 pips. So I think that looks pretty good. I've got sell stops here at 170.060. Need to send the signal. Stop loss I'll have at 170.430. keep in mind this could easily be a bottom wick for the hourly to still flip. You know, we are still actually in this range here, but once we break previous hourly lows, I would anticipate that volume to allow us to then come and fill some of this traffic to the left. Higher time frame, just from a macro perspective, we've been bullish on GJ for a long time, with the Bank of England obviously raising their rates and the Bank of Japan keeping their rates in the negative. Now, one thing that is enticing me about the sales is that we've had headlines this morning from the Bank of Japan with a just potentially talking about shifting their monetary policy. So that could definitely bring strength to the yen in that regard. But they haven't actually done anything just yet. This is just essentially speculation. But this could definitely bring strength to the yen. So we'll have to see how much weight it holds. Obviously the idea is with that article that could bring strength to the yen, and we're looking for price to now correct some of this clean traffic to the left, to the downside, going against that higher time frame bullish buys for those reasons. Otherwise I wouldn't really be too interested in the sales today. Even with the clean traffic I would have been like, okay, I'm still waiting for a support to form for buys. But we can adapt to this kind of news and take advantage of it. So that 169,760 level is a really nice level there for us to target, go break even. And look, I'll have a TP at 169,350. So the idea is going to look something like this. GJ spread is 0. That's good. That's good for us. That means that there's a lot of volume on this pair right now. Coming in hot. I would expect some volume once we break those lows. Okay, chat. My sell stops have been activated here at 170.060. Stop loss above the highs here at 170.430. Break even point at 169.760. TP at 169.350. I think at the break-even point, I'll secure 50%. It's about 30 pips. That's a decent little move. Leave a run into the TP. TP 169.350. It is on the screen. I would even be happy to hold full as long as the hourly is closing below 170. But I mean, 30 pips and a risk-free runner is a very nice way to start the week. So yeah, when we get to that break-even point, I will secure 50%. Need to just be patient. Yeah, we got lots of clean traffic to the left. You can see the last time we actually left this clean traffic as we were moving up. You know, it took a very long time for us to actually do that. It took 4 hours. So we are very early into London session. Hopefully we see this volume continue and we can get to that break-even point relatively quickly. We'll see how the next 15-minute candle opens up. But we've got a lot of volume here right now. And if you had waited patiently for London Open, like I preached to do with GBPJPY, you could have taken advantage of this volume. This is something we see day in and day out. That pre-London volume on GJ is just not there. It really pays to wait for London Open. You'll miss a couple moves for sure, but you'll also save yourself a lot of pain. I mean, this was just zero drawdown. New 15-minute obviously could come up great to top wick, could come back up to like 170, even retest the previous support, but with this volume, I would anticipate the next 15 to continue driving down. Yen index showing some strength there. Are you think after that market gonna go up? Oh, do I think market's gonna go up after that? I would just take it level by level. With the news that's coming in, it could shift things, but it's like I mentioned just now, I think this is just like speculation, you know. It hasn't said that they're going to change anything. There's no concrete plan that the Bank of Japan will change their monetary policy. But this headline is with regards to them changing their monetary policy. Shrinking their balance sheet, which is taken as hawkish, which should strengthen that currency. The reason the yen is weak to the pound is because the Bank of Japan, compared to the pound, is more dovish. So if there's anything relating to Bank of Japan being hawkish, obviously we're going to see higher time frame pullbacks here on the pound. We're going to see some downside. So I think you just have to stay adaptive. Take it level by level. Higher time frame, pound is still bullish. We could even come into like 168 and then continue bullish later in the week or next week. But keep in mind, you've also got the Bank of England rate decision on Thursday. That's obviously going to throw a spanner in the works here. We are breaking previous 15-minute lows. We have a current we have a top wick on the current candle. So this looks really good. Looking really good. Currently up about 20 pips. Like I say, I'll move my stop loss to break even at this level right here, 169,760, and I'll secure 50% as well. I may even close more depending on how we move into this level and depending on the timing. Since we are coming to the hourly close, I do have a lot of confidence that we will run down here to fill this clean traffic. But I am concerned if I move my stop loss to break even, you know, new hourly could easily create a top wick, stop us out. I think what I could do so long, just to reduce the risk, is move the stop loss above the previous 15-minute candle. Now that we've closed nice and strong bullish, bearish, sorry, we don't really want to see that previous candle getting corrected. So I'm going to move my stop loss to 170, 330. So we've already reduced risk now. We've managed risk to an extent. If it does come back against us, we'll lose less than originally planned. So I took up about 10 pips from the stop loss, you know, saving ourselves 10 pips. That's perfect. There is a level that we are tapping into and reacting to right here. You can see this level. But I was looking more at the most recent price action on the 15 minutes to get that break-even point right there, that support. Which also ties in, if you see this move down, taps into that level 169,760 perfectly. And it's actually the same move that we're getting right now. So looking for that same kind of clean move down into that 169,760 level. We'll just have to see how this 15-minute candle closes. Don't really want to see us close bullish. But as long as we are below 170, I'm quite comfortable here. I mean, this hourly candle is closing really nicely, if it closes like that. Yeah, gold is a mess. I could still see the 4 hour driving up. But you're in a range now. You need to wait for a breakout of that range. But that could be your bottom wick for the 4 hour. And then, once we flip, we could start driving up. There was a lot of volume coming in. Right now, price is obviously just catching its breath. We're getting a top wick here on the 15. Maybe just going to close like a doji candle on this 15. Coming into the hourly close. And then the next hour hopefully brings the volume. Because this current hourly, if it closes bearish like this, that gives really nice confirmations to continue moving down. The only thing about taking trades after London Open is that the stream does get pretty long. I've been sitting here for 3 hours now. Patience definitely pays, but man, it's a pleasure to do the when the stream starts at 7 and we get that pre-London trade at like 7:15, and then the stream's done in an hour. Lesson learned, GJ acts. Sorry, I actually can't see that word. There's something covering it here on my chat. Acts weird pre-London. Yeah, it does. Cinematographer. Like I said earlier, I'm really glad that someone's taking something away. And I'm glad that you're getting better and working those elements of your trading. No worries, Future FX. I think that's one of the really amazing things about just trading one or two pairs. You really learn the intricacies of those pairs. If I were trading 5 pairs, I would have maybe never picked that up. But it's very clear to me to see that volume on GJ pre-London is just whack, because I see it every day. I've taken many trades pre-London on GJ, and look, some of them play out. Like I say, you're going to get a few days in a month where you get really clean moves on GJ before London Open actually comes. There is definitely volume in the market in and around that time, but I found GJ price action to be quite sporadic in that time. As you can see today, we had a fake out, and then it actually looked like we were setting up for buys almost. We came back out of the range. But if you had just waited for London Open, waited to see which direction the volume was coming in, and obviously had a setup you were looking for, you would have been fine. Yeah, I'm live every day, Monday to Friday. Just yesterday was a UK bank holiday, so no stream yesterday. Nah, that was really clean. No drawdown. New hourly opening, obviously we could create a top wick. But right now there's a lot of volume in this candle. Let's see if we can respect previous 15-minute highs. I'll be very happy here. So your new candle could obviously open up, create a top wick, but I'm saying as long as we respect the previous 15-minute high right there, I'm going to be very happy, and I'm pretty sure that we'll have a very good chance of continuing down. Okay, your hourly candle has closed. Very nice and bearish. Very, very nice and bearish. We did close below 170. 170 is just a psychological level. Also, we have seen price react already. So I'm very happy to see us closing below 170. We could even come create a top wick to 170 here on the hourly. But right now you've got no bottom wick. So I would anticipate that we would still flip bearish here. Or we have a very high chance of still flipping bearish and continue on down. Would you add more positions if it flips? No, I don't feel the need to. I've got my full position in here already. Maybe if you missed the original entry, that could be an entry idea. But I'm happy. So we did break previous 15-minute highs, but we need to also just not lose perspective of the other time frames here. Your hourly looks amazing. 30-minute looks amazing. Our stops are actually above the previous 30-minute highs. And essentially the trade is still valid as long as we respect previous 30-minute highs. So we're coming up to create a top wick. We're now tapping that 170 key level. That would be a really nice level to see rejections from, to see us continue down. But we may even retest the support here at 170.100. We may even come up and retest 170.200. I've already reduced my stop loss size here, but I'm going to give it space to run. I'm not going to strangle the position anymore. Also, with the hourly having no bottom wick, I believe there's a very high probability we come back and flip bearish here on this candle. Thanks, bro. I made $10. Amazing. Well done. If you can make 10, you can get to 100. Exactly. If you can make 100, you can make 1,000. If we do come back to entries, you could always just close out at break even to avoid obviously going back into a loss. I'm going to give it a chance here. I'm not going to go break even or anything. Still got my full position open. I think I'll wait until the 15-minute candle close before doing anything here. Like I say, we could retest this area still. I would really like us to respect 170. But like I say, we could easily just come back and retest the support. You can see even here with this price action to the left, how we tapped into that 170 level and respected it quite well. Very huge John Wick. Yeah, very huge John Wick. So that's our last line of defense, really. But you know, when there is volume, especially on GJ, I found that the wicks can also be bigger. If you're looking to the left, you know, if we're looking at these hourly candles, the bottom wicks we were creating as we were coming up, you know, were pretty big compared to the candle bodies. Our top wick here is about 19 pips. We've just grabbed liquidity for when we flip bearish. We'll have a lot of orders there to continue driving price down. You know, if we look at structure, it's very easy to see that here we were moving nice and bullish. These little pullbacks on the lower time frames were just bottom wicks on those hourly candles. Just like right now. You can see how we are moving bearish, creating lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. And we've had a pullback here on the hourly open to create a top wick. Actually look very nice here on the 5 minutes. Closed a very weak bullish candle there, showing signs of rejection to the support. But we're going to have to keep an eye on this 15 minute. Spread right now on gold, 1.5 pips. Between 1.6 and 1.4 pips. Very huge John Wick. That John Wick thing makes me laugh, man. Got 2 minutes left of this 15-minute candle. Right now it's pretty bullish. Although still respecting structure, just retesting previous structure. We are also coming into the last 45 minutes of the 4-hour candle. So that's something to just keep in the back of our minds. I could easily see the hourly flipping bearish here, but it's getting pretty tough. If you're sitting at break even and you're closing against the direction you're trading, not a bad idea to just start managing risk. But I'm going to wait here for the 15 to close. I'm still in with the full position. Yeah, so we closed bullish there on the 15. Like I say, we are just retesting the structure. With the hourly candle having no bottom wick, the 30-minute also having no bottom wick, I think I'm going to hold off just for a little bit longer. See if we do respect this area. Come and get that bottom wick. Like I said, I don't want to strangle the position. Cheers, Mr. Wayne. See you. Breaking previous 15-minute highs. Obviously, you know, if you're uncomfortable, manage your positions. Ichimoku Cloud. And how do you read that thing? I remember putting that on my chart when I was starting trading and I didn't know what the hell was going on. I really don't like indicators and often bash indicators. And I'd probably bash that one too, but I just have respect for you for sticking it out and figuring out how that thing works, I must say. That's very interesting though. We all been there. Yeah, that flipping cloud, bro. So obviously just putting my faith into the hourly time frame, to the clean traffic to the left. Also this news from the Bank of Japan potentially bringing some strength, which appears to be the case here at London Open. But we're just getting a bit of a pullback. If we look at the hourly, we had a very nice bearish candle closure on the hourly. Currently just getting quite a steep top wick, retesting this previous support area. And we've got no bottom wick on the hourly. Now I'll move the stop in. Obviously a safer stop would be above hourly highs. I don't really want to see us break above previous 30-minute highs here though. Of course, when you get into profit, especially when you get into profit so nice and easily, and then you come back into drawdown, I know that that can suck. But at the same time, you need to follow your plan, whatever your plan was. And for me, it didn't quite get to my break-even point. Like I said, I'm putting my trust in the higher time frame, and I'm giving it space here to run. I never wanted to strangle this position. I've accepted the outcome before it's happened. Win or lose, I've accepted it. So even if it does come back to my stop loss now, I'm perfectly fine with that. But I would rather give it a little bit of space here to do its thing. And if we are closing bullish on the 30 minutes, then at that point, I'm going to look to manage my risk. Because a 30-minute bullish candle closure, closing back above 170, to me that's just showing that it's really choppy. I've given it more than enough room here. But I've also moved my stop loss in. So I've taken about 10 pips off of my stop loss. So I've already managed risk in a sense. If you cannot handle a stop loss, it's best to not become a trader. Like I say, I think you need to accept the loss before you even come into the trade. Understand that that is a possible outcome of the trade. And don't get upset or frustrated when it happens. And if you do get upset or frustrated, that obviously means you didn't accept the risks. So that's what I mean when I say accept the loss. Before you even enter the trade, just accept the risk. I'm still holding my full position, but I have made my stop loss a little bit smaller. It was initially above the previous hourly high, now it's above the previous 30-minute. We'll see how the 30-minute candle closes. If we close above this red line on the 30-minute, then I will close out partials. May even close out full, to be honest. It's also the last 30 minutes of the 4-hour candle, so it's getting a bit tough. But I mean, we just retested this previous support level of this range now at 170, 260. If we actually ignoring this initial fake out, so let me do this. If we are ignoring this, wait, let me change color. Yeah, if you're ignoring this, then this essentially was our breakout here, and we've just retested that support. It's just this most recent price action, which I've blocked out now, makes it look kind of funky. Alright, we've got a minute until the 30-minute candle closes. Really not looking great. Like I said, we are just retesting this level here at 170.2. You know, if we respect that level, we could be alright, but the way this 30-minute candle is looking is not amazing at all. Yeah, it's a tough one because I was waiting for the 30 to close to decide if I would close partials or manage risk, but now we are actually getting a push here very close to stop loss. So I'm not going to bother with closing partials or anything. We either survive or we don't. Like I say, I've already managed risk. Already taken off 10 pips. Stops were initially 40 pips here. Now they are about 27. Look, I'm not really anticipating that we come back down. It's really not looking good. You've closed back above 170.2. So, I mean, if you want to save those few pips, may as well just close out now. Kind of just holding on to the idea that we could still come and flip bearish on this hourly, but based off that 30-minute, oh, you look terrible. But I mean, we were so close to the stop loss. It was like, am I really going to try and save 3 pips? Cheers, Toxic, check you. Cheers, Dillian. Thanks for popping in, bro. Oh, GJ. GJ doing GJ things. I think it's been a while since I took a GJ trade on stream. Last GJ trade was on the 20th of April. Was break even. One before that was on the 4th of April, 65 pips. And then on the last day of, on the 30th of March, 55 pips. 22nd of March, 70 pips. So you can see being very selective with the GJ trades. Waiting for those higher probability setups. The last loss taken on GJ, the beginning of March, 2nd of March. What time was that? 9 o'clock at London Open, you see. I think that was one of those liquidity grabs at London Open as well. So learn to be a little bit more patient at London Open as well. No pre-London trades on GJ. London Open, just be patient. But this trade, man, this runner, 415 pips on last week Friday's gold sales. Absolutely ridiculous. I think last year the biggest trade was 300 pips, 320 pips on gold sales with one of the FOMC trades, and held that through the night. So this definitely takes the cake. It's a pretty tough situation. Your previous 30-minute was quite strong bullish. Your current 30-minute has no top wick. Really, it looks like dog shit. There's nothing to say about it. But if we zoom out to the hourly, this could give you some peace of mind that there is still a relatively high probability that we come and flip bearish on this candle to create a bottom wick. We're seeing that bearish pressure come in now on the lower time frame. Previous 5 closed nice and engulfing. So to close out here would be a sin. Unless you are just really uncomfortable in the position, when we get to break even, just close. There is obviously a probability we come back and flip bullish on this 30 minutes. That's also a thing. Like I say, just looking at the 30 minutes and 15, looks like ass, man. There's nothing to really see. So I'm just going based off the hourly here. John Wick says, okay, that's enough. Hell of a John Wick, that one. Just zoom out and get perspective. Don't forget to zoom out. Clean traffic to the left. Previous hourly was a very strong bearish candle. We had a pretty strong wick up on this candle, but we've still got no bottom wick. If we flip bearish, looking at the previous hourly, based off of this clean traffic, if we flip bearish, there's a very high chance that we drop down. I think the best thing to do is to short it now at the highs and recover the loss. Bro, what the fuck are you smoking? Don't do that. Nobody do that. Don't ever do that. No, that is literally called revenge trading. Don't do that. I'm still in here. Revenge trading is a no-no. You heard it from TJ. just getting really tough coming into the last little bit of the 4 hour. Got pretty sporadic price action. The current 30-minute having no top wick really concerns me, I must say. We caught between a no wick sandwich. No top wick on the current 30 and no bottom wick on the current hourly. Tough place to be with 20 minutes till the 4 hour close. Stream is too long today. Way too long. I need to eat. Getting hungry. I'm gonna start to get angry. If we do close engulfing the previous 15, man, that'll look good. I'm thinking to say, chat, I'm closing before we had break even and heading off. But nah, I mean, I'm in the trade. I'm gonna let it play out, at least get to break even. You know, I'll never let the stream just hang in a trade. Diamond hands always pay off. It's gonna come back. It's gonna come back. Yeah, today we had diamond hands, that's for sure. But with a healthy respect for risk. Definitely had a very healthy respect for the risk. You know, brought the stop loss in, made it a little bit smaller, and Jeez, we just respected it. At least we had a stop loss, right? Hopefully we just get a nice push here on the new 15 minute. Get to break even and then I'm gonna head off. I won't lie guys, I'm super hungry. 4 hours of streaming. Need to have my pre-workout meal and head to the gym. Tight one, very tricky situation. 15 closed bearish, but it's really ugly. Don't really like that 5-minute form support there. But yeah, just trusting the higher time frames, using the information about the Bank of Japan to our advantage here. For the most part, doesn't look like it's holding much weight, but if we do obviously flip bearish on this hourly candle, you've definitely got range to continue moving down. So you got 13 minutes for this hourly candle to do its thing. We came very close to stops, and then I held off from managing risk. I didn't close out partials or anything, and actually came back, not quite to entry, but you know, we closed bearish on the 15 minute. So this has kind of given me a bit more confidence to just continue to hold. Like I say, in terms of the stop loss, I've brought it in, so I'm not going to be in a rush to close out anything. If you've been on the stream regularly, you know that I like to manage risk. So I like to keep the losses small. I think I've done what I need to in terms of risk management for now. I'm going to let the stop loss do its thing. If we do, however, close bullish on the hourly, let's see. Yeah, I think if your hourly candle is closing still above 170, then that's going to be an issue. Or if this 15-minute closes above here, then that's going to be an issue. So for now, I'm still in. Hopefully we get some volume as we break those previous bearish 15-minute lows. And if we do, if we get that volume, hourly comes and flips bearish, that could definitely bring a whole lot more volume. And we could get a nice push here, go break even. I think it may even make sense to just go break even on the hourly flip. What a painful trade. Got into profit so nice and quickly. 0 drawdown. Came to say hello to the stop loss. Just waved. Didn't give it a kiss today. Just waved. Came back down to entries. And let's just see what happens. The way this 15-minute closes is going to determine what I do, if I hold or if I close. The initial idea with the trade was that we had a pullback pre-London already, and then I didn't want to take the break of that bearish 15. I wanted to wait for the safer sells on the break of the hourly lows, where we took entries at 170.060, and then anticipating us to fill this clean traffic to the left. So we had a much deeper pullback than I was expecting. Not the nicest one-sided volume, but we are shifting back bearish. And we are now back in profit. What a muzzer of a trade. Bush GJ. I'd love to see this hourly flip and close bearish. But look at the 30 minutes, it's disgusting. It's really disgusting. One of my concerns is also the 30-minute right now has no top wick. The new 4-hour candle is going to open in 7 minutes. And, you know, looks like we'll close bearish here in 7 minutes. But what we could see happen is that we get that top wick for the 4-hour, and the new top wick for the 4-hour could come and tap that area, since we don't have a top wick on this candle. So I think either way, this is not looking great. I think it was worth it to give it a chance and hold there. But as we're flipping back bullish, I'm actually going to close out half right here. Yeah, closed out half there on the flip of this candle. So closed out at about 170.170. So negative 11 pips from an initial like 40 pip stop. That's not bad. Still got half my position, but it's not looking amazing. Especially if this 5-minute closes bullish. I'll probably just end up closing full. Okay, so gave this trade plenty of a chance here, and got to end up managing risk quite nicely. Very small loss, much smaller than originally planned. Closing full here on the 5-minute close. So negative 16 pips was a really cuck trade, you would say. Look, I know we had a nice little push into profit there, but there was a lot more room to let this run. I didn't want to strangle it. Unfortunately, price came back against us. We could even still see us. Yeah, it's just right now terrible price action, man. This 30-minute obviously wasn't really expecting that 30 minutes after seeing such a strong bearish candle closure. But another reason I'm closing out and managing here is coming into the new 4-hour. We could easily get tapped out here. So I think the trade idea was really solid. Waited very patiently for the setup, and entries were good. Could have maybe gone break even sooner, but I think I gave it enough of a chance, and there wasn't a lot of potential here to drive down. So that's that. On to the next one. John Wick came for us today. So there you see the 30-minute flipping bullish. So very nicely managed there. Yeah, tough one. Like I say, it was a tough trade. Pushing straight into profit, zero drawdown, and then coming back like that. Like I say, I wanted to give it some space. I had managed my risk already by moving my stop loss in, and just a tough one. But that's trading, eh? On to the next one. We kept the loss small, so we got plenty of bullets for tomorrow with CPR. Big stuff for the week is still coming up. CPR tomorrow and Bank of England rate decision on Thursday. So it still should be an interesting week. So far, pretty slow start, but it'll pick up. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for joining. Safe trading.